Hello. Numanumu22 here, and welcome back to yet another ranking video. With Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom just around the corner, actually about 13 days out, I think, if my calendar math is correct, I figured this would be the perfect time to do a tier list that I've been wanting to do. Basically, I am going to be ranking every iteration of Link from The Legend of Zelda. I do plan on doing a video on both Zelda and Ganondorf as well, but I mean, we gotta start with our main guy. A protagonist that I've honestly always loved in every version of him that at least I'm familiar with. Now, though I have played most Legend of Zelda games, there are some I haven't, so as similar to our last list, we're going to have our ranking with God tier, decent, super okay, which is gonna be just, they're okay. Thanks, I hate it, and I don't know her. Now, I don't know if there's gonna be any that I actually hate. I do know there will at least be one or two I don't know hers. I'm not counting I think it's the Super Famicom or whatever, the really creepy, the creepy Link from like the animated ones, the only one that like talks, because those aren't even considered canon in the series, and they're not even considered like proper spin-offs either. So I'm not going to touch those. If I did, he would be in the thanks I hate it category because it's just so bad. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. So we are starting with our OG boy. So this is going to be the Link from Legend of Zelda and Legend of Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. Now, the way I'm going to be ranking these guys is just going to be based off general style, likability, personality, and I'm also going to incorporate the games that they're in because with Link being such a blank slate usually at the beginning of these games, it's hard to build up a personality without the world building assisting. So, that being said, I don't love the original Link because he didn't really have a personality. That wasn't his fault. I mean, these are ancient games, these are kind of the blueprint for what these games are supposed to be. But I feel like he should get some credit for starting it off. I mean, he was a powerful warrior. He started with nothing and worked his way through. So I do love that. So I think I'm gonna put him in super okay because I don't dislike him. And he's only, I'm gonna put him in decent for now. I'm subject to change. Just because I feel like he deserves some credit for starting everything off. Now, our next guy, so this is the Hero of Legend. Now, the Hero of Legend, which by the way, the first guy, his name is he's known as the Hero of Hyrule, but the Hero of Legend, this iteration of Link actually had quite a few little journeys. If I go over to my list here, he was the Link from A Link to the Past, Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons, and Link's Awakening. And you'll see I have the remake version of him up because he's just so damn cute. And this is honestly what is putting him at where he's at, because I absolutely adore. I like A Link to the Past. I never played the Oracle games. I want to. I really want to. I need to. But I never played the Oracle games. But I did like A Link to the Past, and I absolutely loved Link's Awakening, especially the remake. So he's going at decent. He's at the top of my decent list right now. That's just where he's at, So I love him. We're going to keep him there. Now, next we have... It's going to go without saying where this guy's going to rank, but we have our Hero of Time. This is the Link that everybody knows. Even if you don't know Legend of Zelda, just you know it as a passing, you know this Link because this Link is the Link. I love Breath of the Wild, and I'll get into that one later, but nothing can go over this guy because the Hero of Time is God tier. He's probably going to remain at the top of God tier. I mean, you have two amazing iterations of Link. You have his child form, who ends up going on in his timeline after defeating Ganon. He ends up going on to the events of Majora's Mask, my all-time favorite Legend of Zelda game. Even if it wasn't, though, he kind of single-handedly stops a doomed time loop, and ends up saving the people of Termina, which is, I believe, supposed to be an alternate dimension. I don't recall the actual semantics of it, but he's amazing. He's a phenomenal character. He's got so much personality just as a child. And it was kind of our first real look at a Link with personality. I mean, just, his background alone, being mistaken for, I believe he was mistaken for a fairy. They thought he was a part of the Kokiri fairies, but it turned out he wasn't, obviously, because he ages, which they don't. He's amazing, and I love Child Link, and I also love Adult Link. Adult Link made me feel things that I was not aware of I could feel as a kid, but also he was just so cool. He was such a stoic version of Child Link, which in my mind didn't make it never made a lot of sense to me, because you go into a stasis, yes, his body aged, but how did his mind aged? How did his mind age up? But whatever, I don't care. He was super cool, and the game is amazing. I love Ocarina of Time. Still butthurt that we haven't gotten if they do a collection, which a lot of people are hoping they do of, I believe the collection idea was Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess. Personally, I think I'd prefer Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and Twilight Princess, but whatever. My only issue is that knowing Nintendo and how they did Super Mario 64 dirty with the collection they released on the Switch, is they're going to give us the Nintendo 64 versions, which they are good, mind you. But if anybody played the 3DS version of Ocarina of Time and then Majora's Mask, those are the superior versions. All of the quality of life improvements are just phenomenal. That's actually, I've only beaten both games on the 3DS. I never beat them on the 64. But all of that being said, I love this iteration of Link. As you can see, I can't talk enough about him. He is my favorite iteration of Link. But we're going to move on to another Link that I personally think is underrated, which I honestly thought this was same as the Four Swords Adventures Link, but I apparently am wrong. But we're going to go with the Four Links, or Four Swords, or from the Four Swords. I like them. They're fun. They're not anything too special, power-wise. Personality-wise, I feel like they had a lot of fun in what they, how much personality they could have at the time. I think this was GameCube era, but I really did like them. I thought it was a cute concept, having the four splits of Link. I wish they did a little bit more with personality-wise, maybe making them have different effects. I don't remember a lot from the game. I think they all kind of worked the same, but I did love them. So, or I liked them. I gotta say, I use love way too much. I liked them a good amount. So I'm going to put them in decent. I'm going to put them below Hero of Legend, but above Hero of Hyrule, because the Hero of Hyrule was so eh. And also, something that is really dumb, but I have issue with, this was also the only one that I saw that wasn't, didn't have a title like Hero of. Now, the second iteration of them does have a title, but we'll move that later. Now, we're back to another one of my faves. Absolutely adore the Hero of Winds. So Wind Waker is another one of my all-time favorite Legend of Zeldas, which is very basic of me to say. It's one of everybody's favorites, if not their favorite. I remember when everybody was really upset about the art direction. I loved the art direction. The cell shaded was so great, especially because, once again, the Wii U port of this game is the best version of it, but even just playing the GameCube version, it still holds up really well. And that's something that's great about cell shaded. It's something that's great about Borderlands and games like that. I'm not even a big Borderlands fan, but you can go back and play the original and it doesn't feel gross or off because of the time difference, because cell shaded is always going to hold up, which is something that I think can be said about a lot of those kind of games that use that aspect. Or for instance, I know even going back, even in the future, if we come back and our current graphics are archaic, if you go back and you play the remake of Link's Awakening, it's gonna hold up, because that kind of claymation, that cute art style does not falter. It's not hyper realistic. The only time we really have that issue is when we're using hyper realistic graphics. So I'm gonna put him in God tier. Outside of my opinions of his looks and his game itself, personality was there. I would argue he has more personality than honestly most Links. I even more than Ocarina of Time. The Hero of Winds, I mean, he just had a great personality. Also, I haven't even mentioned, he was in Phantom Hourglass too, which I did play. I actually really enjoyed. So he's pretty cool. I liked his style. I loved the Wind Waker actual attribute to him. His personality was great. He had family that we cared about. You know, they made us care about his sister and his fucking adorable grandma. I love her. But yeah, no, the Hero of Winds, pretty damn top tier. Still gonna go below Ocarina of Time just because when it comes to iconic levels, you gotta go Ocarina Link. You know, you gotta go the Hero of Time. But now we're gonna come to our first I don't know her, and that is going to be the Hero of Light. This one does have a moniker, from Four Swords Adventures. I genuinely thought these were the same Links. I never played Four Swords Adventures. I only played Four Swords, which I feel like they did this on purpose to confuse me. And from what I understand, because I read several articles stating they are different Links, but I don't know enough about the game to defute it or agree with it. So I'm just going to keep it as is. I don't know her, unfortunately. But they're pretty much probably going to be the same, I would imagine. Now, Minish Cap. I'm really trying not to be like just everybody gets a gimme, but I love Minish Cap. It's one of my every time I play it, it bubbles up to my second favorite, and one time it even reached favorite for a while. Game. I love Minish Cap. I think the cap itself is such a cool mechanic. You know, both the mechanic of being able to shrink down to the size to see the invisible world, but also he is such a cool character. You know, he is probably our most interactive partner. Like Navi, I loved Navi, but she was so, hey, listen. And the Majora's Mask Fairy had a little bit more personality. They fixed a lot of the issues with Navi, but this might be my favorite companion for Link. Yeah, because I didn't care for Fee, but we'll get to that later. I absolutely love Minish Cap. I love the Link from that one. I believe he was another blacksmith. A lot of these Links are blacksmiths or just homeless, like Hero of Time or Hero of Winds, who was just a literal child. But yeah, no, I absolutely adore Minish Cap. He's the hero of the Minish, right? Yeah, hero of the Minish. He's just such a good Link. I love his personality. Looks wise, he fits in the Toon Link category, which I do love because I love Toon Link, which I don't think I can spout enough. Although he also kind of matches the Four Swords folks. Yeah, no, I love the hero of the Minish, and he's god tier for me. And I think this is going to be when I now bump down, because we have a pretty stacked list. I'm bumping OG Link down to super okay. I don't hate him, I don't like him. He's just there, which is kind of the purpose for that. And now this is gonna be controversial. So hear me out. You could disagree with me 100%. Obviously, it's free country sometimes. I'm putting the hero of Twilight at super okay. I know everybody loves Twilight Princess now. I don't dislike Twilight Princess. Oh, sorry, I just had a crisis. I don't dislike Twilight Princess, and I need to give another shot. I've only played through like half of it. I've seen a lot of playthroughs of it. I don't dislike the game, but it was an overcorrection, and it's kind of known as an overcorrection because of the initial backlash they got from Wind Waker. For Twilight Princess, they were like, okay, fine, you don't want cartoonish, we're giving you hyper realistic, grungy, dark. The atmosphere in Twilight, I know it's supposed to be a dark Zelda, and I do like it. I do. However, I can't stand just the grungy color filter. Like, it's just it's such a boring looking game. It's not a boring game, but it's just so ugly. And I hate that. Which sucks because the personality for this Link, I did like the Link. I genuinely thought he could have been a great character, but there was just so much grunge and despair around him that his personality barely got to bubble up. You know, at the very beginning of the game, I was obsessed with this Link. I actually loved the beginning of the game Link, but his personality, at least in my opinion, as I played through, it seemed to kind of just fall further and further, and I didn't like it. I still like him more than OG Link because OG Link is just OG Link. He's boring. But now, Spirit Tracks Link, I want to like him. I don't know her, though. I don't know her. Genuinely. Never played Spirit Tracks. It is interesting, and I actually have opinions on Zelda from Spirit Tracks, which when I do my Zelda video, I will speak on it because I actually know a little bit more about Zelda because of Smash Bros. And because of my own personal research, because your companion is a spirit Zelda, and I think she's like she's possessing like a suit of armor, which is kind of cool. But the actual Link himself, I think it's cool that he's a train conductor. I mean, that's a career he's never held before, but I just don't know her. I don't know her enough. I didn't ever play the game. I never even watched a playthrough of it. I need to, but you know, here we are. Now, here's where I'm kind of unsure how I feel. Also, by the way, that was Hero of Trains was that guy. I keep forgetting to actually say their moniker. So Hero of the Skies, I do like the Hero of the Skies. I like this version of Link. He had a lot of personality. Not as much, I would say, as Wind Waker Link, but he did have a lot of personality, and he was a good soul. And this is, I believe, the very first chronological iteration of Link. Because and it is cool. The game is what I think kind of brings it down for me. The game, so Skyward Sword, I want to love it. I like the art style. It kind of felt like a middle ground between Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, where it was kind of cel shaded, if I recall correctly, but still they weren't chibi characters, you know? My issue with it was the control scheme sucked. I tried playing on the Switch remake. I own it, or well, Jacob owns it. I bought it for Christmas, but so I own it. We own it, but I hate it. The directional thing sucks. Using the joystick as a secondary option sucks. Motion controls were such a cute idea for like a day. Any point past that, I'm over it. I'm like, I don't fucking care. Especially the like, so many of the attacks you have, or so many of the enemies you have to fight, you have to do the proper direction, and it was annoying. It just wasn't very intuitive. I wish they would have given us the option of just like classic style, or even if they if they found a different way to make it easy, assign it to buttons. But having me do directions as somebody with terrible depth perception, not great for me. And that's kind of why I'm putting him at the end of decent, because I didn't care for the adventure he went on. From a story perspective, I thought it was interesting, but outside of that, I was just like, I don't know. Also, I didn't care for Fee. Fee was okay. But that's kind of it when it comes to Fee. I thought I know she was supposed to feel robotic in a sense, but she just bored me personally. And a spirit attached to the not Master Sword. I don't know how it goes once he gets the Master Sword, so I'd have to see, but it just doesn't make any sense to me to put so much emphasis on a non-Master Sword. That being said, we're on to another one that I really like. I don't think I'm gonna have any things I hate it. I'm almost tempted. No, that's gonna get me. I'm almost tempted to put Hero of Twilight in the things I hate it, because I was just so upset with the direction his character went. But I don't genuinely hate him, and I'll get shit from the public, the general public. Even if 2 people watch this video, I'll get shit for putting him in the things I hate it category. So instead, we're going to go ahead and just move on to the new Hero of Hyrule, who I love. Now, I never played Triforce Heroes, which I know he's a part of, but I did play the living hell out of Link Between Worlds. It is another one of my top favorites. However, that doesn't mean his character is god tier for me. I don't think I would put him at god tier because he's not. I mean, he is pretty great. I'm gonna put him at the top of decent for now. He is pretty great as a character. I think the mechanics from the game were such a unique thing. His powers were unique. That ability to, you know, go to the other world, the ability to, you know, switch into that two-dimensional world was so cool. I also love low rule, which I will be including Hilda in my Zelda rankings because she is a form of Zelda, in my opinion, at least. That's how I view her. Similar to Midna, actually, but we'll get to that. So I do like him as a character. I think that his abilities are really cool. Personality-wise, the little we saw he was a lot more of a fun Link. From what I can tell. I mean, even the photo, he has a lot of personality in that intro photo, or in the cover photo for the game. So he's gonna go at the top of decent. I do like him more than the Hero of Legend. Not by a lot though. So there we are. Now, Breath of the Wild Link. I love Breath of the Wild. I love Breath of the Wild so damn much. I'm so excited for Tears of the Kingdom because of Link and Zelda. I'm so excited to see how their characters grow from it. I'm happy we're getting a direct sequel, just because I absolutely, you know, I do love it. I will say, I say that with a caveat because there's a part of me that thinks I would have preferred a new era than a sequel, but because of where the game left off, I do think it would be good. And also, Ganon looks really hot. New game. But whatever. That's, you know, neither here nor there. So, we're putting him... do I like him more than Toon Link? I think I do. I think I like him more than Toon Link. Yeah. Yeah, I like him more than Toon Link. I freaking love him. I just love the journey that he goes on. I mean, all the flashbacks just make me fall in love with this iteration of Link, which also this marks another tradition with Link that we see so much in Breath of the Wild, where everybody wants to bone Link. Like, and haven't seen that since Ocarina of Time, where just so many people are on Link's jock and he is either oblivious or doesn't care. Although I stand by this, he should end up with Prince Sidon, the hot shark dude. He is my pick, my relationship pick for Link. But yeah, no, I absolutely love the Hero of the Wilds. He's really cool. And I think he would do well personality-wise faced up against everybody else. He has earned the second spot for sure. Now, this one hurts. I want to put him in God tier. I'm not going to. We'll see if I maintain my conviction throughout the rest of this. But he's known as just the hero. He is from the Hyrule Warriors Link. I'm putting him at the top of decent. I really love this guy. This guy right here. I love Hyrule Warriors. I think it's an underrated gem when it comes to story-wise. I mean, the aspect of the idea of like a dimension, well, actually, this is a time-traveling Link, I believe. The idea of a time-traveling Link is so cool. And not just like time-traveling within his own like era. I mean, he literally... Lucifer, chill. Tool? Okay, anyways. So not only, I mean, is he fighting enemies, but he's also I think he goes to other time eras. He gets help from other characters. I really love the hero. I think he's such a great Link, and he's flawed, which is probably my favorite thing about him is, you know, the evil witch sister. I'm trying to remember. It's been a minute since I've actually played through the story of Hyrule Warriors, but the evil sorceress, who is the one manipulating all these situations, she takes advantage of his bravado, you know, he gets kind of cocky, And he's not the first Link to get cocky in A Legend of Zelda, but it does feel like he's the first one to face real like ramifications of his overconfidence. And I think that's why I like him. Also, he's probably, in my opinion, the hunkiest Link. And I know I read that there were other Links that were knights, but outside of the Breath of the Wild Link, obviously, I feel like he was the first real knight. Because I don't know what the first Link did. I don't know what his deal was. He might have been a knight. I don't know. He's kind of boring. And saying it out loud makes me want to put him in the things I hate it. I probably won't, but we'll see. But like, I feel like every other Link was either a villager or a blacksmith or just there. And the hero was truly a knight. A knight that Zelda was like into. Very, very much so liked this knight. Yeah, no, and I love that because when you're first introduced to him, he's in a lineup of a bunch of knights, like, training and stuff. So I think I love this iteration of him because of that. That's really cool to me, in my opinion. So yeah, he's going at the top of decent. There's a chance I bump him up to God tier, but we're towards the end. We're at the end, so, like, it's not, I don't have much time to change my mind on it. Now, our next and final Link is the... Well, okay. It's funny because this is technically the Hero of the Wilds, but it's not because it's an alternate timeline. So that's why I've decided to make it different. The Hero of Calamity. This is the hero from yet another Hyrule Warriors game, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. He bores me. I feel like Age of Calamity did so much more to showcase other characters, which I do love. As much as I love Link, the thing I love the most in games, especially long franchises, is when they push aside the main character and focus on other characters. You get so much more about Zelda and the rest of the crew, and Impa and them. In Age of Calamity, he is, in my opinion, I found Link from Age of Calamity boring. I'm gonna put him in super okay. And since we're talking about super boring characters, I know I shouldn't, but I did. Anyways, yeah, he just didn't. I feel like he had so much personality on Breath of the Wild, and this version of him I know is a different timeline where things went differently, but like, it didn't really, he just didn't have anything for me. And maybe I need to, I don't know if I fully finished Age of Calamity because that game got hard, but I just didn't ever find him that interesting. So he's gonna have to go into super okay. But that wraps it up. That is the end of our rankings. That is, not counting those weird Links. This should be every iteration of Link. If I missed one, let me know. Or if you disagree with me, please let me know in the comments. Just don't be mean because once again, it's my video. It's my opinion. I can't fudge an opinion list. That's like not really possible. So this is where we're at. So the ranking goes top tier, top of the God tier, Hero of Time. And I will never change my mind on that. Then we have Hero of the Wilds because I love Breath of the Wild. So it goes God tier, we have Hero of Time, Hero of the Wilds, Hero of Winds, and Hero of the Minish. Great crew. Would love to hang out with that bunch. Decent, we have the hero, who I'd like to hang out with him for different reasons. We have the new hero of Hyrule, the hero of Legend, the 4 Links. The hero of 4. The hero of the skies, and then in super okay, which is just okay, we have the hero of Calamity and the hero of Twilight. Thanks, I hate it. I feel bad putting him there, but we have the hero of Hyrule. He's just so dull and there's nothing there. And then lastly, I don't know where we have the hero of Trains and the hero of Light. I don't know him. I'm sorry, I don't know them. But that, I think, covers everything. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Once again, if you disagree, please let me know. But either way, if you like my video or you are engaged with my video, please subscribe, like, and or comment. Also, feel free to check out my TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, which are all listed in the description below. Beneath that, you will find a link invite to the Discord channel, so feel free to hop on into the 282. Come yell at me about my opinions. I'm all about it. I love a good debate as long as it's like meaningful. But anyways, thanks again for watching, everybody, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye! Why did that intro take me so long? Oh, my hair faded so fast. I'm like blonde now. Oh, I love Legend of Zelda.